Welcome back guys, what's going on? So I'm off to the gym in a bit, going to be doing a pull workout today, so also going to be chucking in a bit of traps and a bit of rear delts in there today, because that's what I tend to do on my pull days, just because can't fit them in on the push days. That's already quite a long day, so I chuck my traps and rear delts in on the pull days pretty much. So I'm going to be having a pre-workout in a minute.
Saw the look on your face, so I stay. But I don't need you, and you should know that, baby. It takes.
So I'm going to be having a scoop and a half of C4, and then I've got these NO2 Extremes, basically like arginine taps, which pretty much help with a good pump. So they're not bad. It was on the 3 for 2 on my protein, so I got those and they seem to be pretty good. I've also got a fairly new pair of bottoms on today. I got them the other day from Machine Fitness. They're like intensity bottoms or whatever they're called, but yeah, I'll just show you what they're like anyway. Honestly, I think they're pretty good. There are no restrictions on them. They're like really easy to move around in. You could do squats in them, sort of thing. I went for a size medium and they fit pretty well. I wouldn't have wanted a small. A small would be definitely too tight. These are quite nice. They're like a nice skinny fit, but you know, they fit nice. Like I said, there's like no limitations when you move around on them, so yeah, I'll give them a thumbs up pretty much. Guys, literally sat outside Starbucks now. I thought I'd just come here. I got a bit of time before I start work, so just get this sort of voiceover done with whilst it's fresh in my mind after the workout. Currently just snacking on a chicken salad, so it's alright. And then I've got a little smoothie, blackcurrant and raspberry one. It's probably my carb allowance for the day, I expect. When I track this on my MyFitnessPal, it's probably about 100 grams of carbs. Nah, hopefully not, but yeah, so I thought anyway, get on with the voiceover, so I'll just explain the workout. Hopefully I don't miss anything out, so here it goes. So yeah, a few little tips for the pendlay rows. You just want to have your chest almost vertical with the floor. That's what I do anyway. I go with a suicide grip, so thumbs over the bar, so like your hands are like hooked, and then you want to be pulling the bar almost just below your chest. It's just a really good exercise for like your back thickness. I really feel it on the lats, especially if you control it on the way down, the negative part of the movement. I really do feel it in my lats. I've been doing a lot of bent over rows during my bulk. You know, I really added those into my routine. My back seems to come on quite a bit, so it's probably from doing a lot of bent over rows and stuff. And, you know, it does help with that exercise I went on to from there with single arm dumbbell rows, which I really like this exercise as well, because it's like a unilateral exercise, so you can use single arms independently. So it's really good for like any sort of muscle imbalances you have, or it can you know, stop you from having muscle imbalances. I really like the squeeze on this exercise. I actually did I did 4 sets on this exercise. I did the first 2 sets aiming for about 10 reps, more relatively heavy. I mean, on this exercise I can lift it a lot more, but then it just takes attention away from the back, so I go with about an in-between weight on this, so not something that's not too heavy, but heavy enough I can really feel it working and feel it squeeze on my lats at the top of the movement. This is probably one of the only exercises where I don't use a suicide grip on, just because it's not that safe. Any tips for the cable low rows? What I do is normally start grabbing the bar, the D bar towards the top of the grip. Again, using a suicide grip, I make sure I set up nice and straight. As the weights come in and touching the stack, you get a nice stretch in your lats, but still keeping your shoulders almost retracted back. That's the part you get a really good stretch in the lats, like I said. And then when you're pulling, pull with the elbows, sitting up nice and straight. Don't slouch, keep your shoulders back, and you just squeeze. And that's a really good exercise, hitting the lower lats a little bit. You know, a little bit in the mid-back, and it's a really good exercise. It gave me a great pump, to be honest, when I did that one. Then I went on to pull-down movement, which is the only pull-down movement of the session, just because I said I was focusing on more of a fitness back session. I have 2 different back days, and I used the D-bar grip, so just for something different. Again, used the suicide grip, made sure I got the stretch at the top of the movement, and then as I was pulling it down, pulling back down with your elbows, getting a nice squeeze in the lats, and that was basically that one. Then from there, guys, I moved on to a superset, which you can see. I did 2 exercises, one for traps, one for rear delts. I did 3 sets, aimed on the rear delt exercise. I went slightly higher reps, about 15, just because I don't feel it in the rear delt. If I go too heavy on rear delts, I just don't really feel it. I feel like I'm just swinging the weight up, so I always have my palms facing outwards as well when I do the like bent over rear delt fly. And I did my shrugs. You see a lot of people do them from the front, but I did a bit of a mix up today. Sometimes when I do shrugs, I like to do them holding the bar behind. You get a really nice squeeze, good one to try. You can't use as much weight on it, but I do find I get a really good squeeze in my traps. Then guys, after that superset, I moved on to biceps, did 2 movements for biceps, and I did about 3 sets each, aiming for about 10 to 12 reps. First exercise I did was just a standing barbell bicep curl. I couldn't go too heavy on the bicep exercises, just they were pretty shot, to be honest, after back workout. I always find that, to be honest. Sometimes I do train biceps on a different day if I want to go a little bit heavier, but anyway, first exercise, so standing bicep curls, just making sure shoulders are back, you're getting a full range of motion. I did sway a little bit on the last couple of reps just to force a few out, really. I don't think there's nothing wrong with a couple of cheat reps, as you say, just to squeeze out those extra few reps, take the biceps to failure on them, and that was that one. Then I moved on from there onto a preacher curl single arm, again like a unilateral movement. So, you know, if you've got one arm, you know, stronger than the other on the bar, then, you know, I like using single arm sometimes, just because that arm has to work independently. So that's why for that as well. Again, good for like muscle imbalances, just keeping the, you know, both arms equal. So I normally like to get that in on a session too. Yeah, so I'm gonna eat this chicken now, finish this smoothie. I'm gonna crack on with that, and thanks for watching guys, and I'll see you again next video.